Hello, everybody. Gbenga Olatunji here. More than how to pass the exams. Why must you pass the exams is what we'll be looking at on GJAMES channel today. Oftentimes, why is neglected and we pursue how? As much as how is important because it's a statement of planning. Why is much more important because it's a statement of end result. It's a statement of becoming. What do we really want to be? Why must we pass the exams? We can apply this topic on other areas of our lives, not only passing the exams, because life in itself is an examination. How to pass, why must we pass is more important, because by the time we know and realize why we passed through what we had passed through, it makes more sense to us and life becomes easier and purposeful than how we pass through them, just to ensure that we have a broad discussion. Oftentimes also, when I ask my students their objective of being here in classroom or wherever they meet or we met, the answers usually given are not strong enough to drive a purposeful career, to drive a purposeful businessman, a businesswoman's life. And I'm here to discuss this same thing with us. Being sure of one thing, that listening to me now, you will not regret it. And like other students usually say at the end of discussion on this topic, many of them have never had it like this before, or been asked a question like this before, or have asked themselves a question like this before. So why must you pass the exams? I'm going to relate with this topic on three folds. First of all, we will look at it from the angle of a story told on the national television. We are going to look at it from the angle of a story told on the national newspaper, in which I actually graduated with the old man being reported in the national newspaper. And also on the third layer, we are going to look at it from the conclusion of the study conducted by the Harvard MBA study, Harvard Business School. We are going to establish the fact we must have, why we must pass the exams at arts even before we start to enroll for any examination. And by the way, this is not to lower down the topic how to pass the examination. It is very important, but how to live a purposeful career life, why must prevail. The first story told on the national television of a graduating medical student, very old man. This man also, when it was broadcasted, I actually knew the man. I almost meet with him on daily basis as at that time, because the teaching hospital where he graduated from, I was actually working then. So I knew the man that was reported on the national television. This medical doctor graduated as a very old man, and he equally graduated same year, same school with his child. So you could imagine, he sponsored a child, grown up child, a medical doctor in his own right, and equally graduated with his son. We now ask the question, why must the father pass the exams? Why must he become a medical doctor? So this is not about how he became the medical doctor. This is why. Because now how doesn't really matter. It is why he graduated. And why he graduated as a medical doctor was, since he was a child, he loved and aspired always to become a medical doctor. So his fulfillment in life actually is in becoming a medical doctor. How, when, and the like, well, as important as they may be, only one thing will give him fulfillment: why he needs to do what he needs to do, or why he did what he needed to do and became a medical doctor at old age, even with his son. That is one. The second, grandpa. Equally, I graduated, actually qualified as a chartered accountant, the same diet with this man reported on the national newspaper. A 70-year-old. We ask ourselves, why must he pass the exams and qualify as a chartered accountant? Talking about facts here that could be verified. I'm giving us all these verifiable facts to establish the discussion that when you go for your why, fulfillment is inevitable. But if you go for how, after you achieved how, big vacuum will still be available, unfilled, yet to be filled up. Now, on this channel, I have over 200 videos freely given out because I only passed my exams after I later discovered why I needed to become a chartered accountant. Until I answer why I did not pass. And one of my why I needed to become a chartered accountant then is what I'm doing now. That is why somebody can take time to have over and upload over 200 videos, and I will still do it, because the why of being qualified, this is one of the why, not how. One day I will come up again with how I pass, and I tell you on each divide, whether as a fast runner that is making it early in life, or those that could say maybe they are crawling and not getting successes faster in life, have experienced both divides. I'm going to talk about it one day too, but why is what we are discussing now, and everybody must have why they want to be who they want to be, why you want to pass this examination or any examination for that matter. At the beginning, I told us that I'm going to base this discourse on 3 facts, and I've given us the first 2. Let us look at the Harvard Business School's research conducted. 84% of the students studied. 84% of the entire class had no set goal at all. So, no why for being in class. Then 13% of the class had written goal but had no concrete plan. So that means they have their why but they did not have their how. They have their goals written down but they did not know how to achieve it. Then we have 3% of the class of the students studied who had both the goals and concrete plans written down. Maybe I should come again slowly. 84% of them do not have both goal and plan, because if you do not really know have your why, you can't have how. How is elusive. 13% of them had goals written down but they do not have plan. 3% had both their goal, which is their why, and their plan, which is their how to pass, written down. What is the end result of this study? Well, you could likely somewhat guess it. 10 years later, 13% of the class that had set written goal but had no created plan were making twice as much money as 84% of the class that set no goal at all. However, the apparent thing is that the 3% of the class that had both written goal and plan, that know their why and that know their how, were making 10 times as much as the rest of the 97% of the class. Now, we are not talking about money alone as a yardstick or measurement of success or making it in life. No. But of course, money comes to those that know their purposes, why they are doing what they are doing. Fulfillment will come when we know why we must pass our exams, why we are doing what we are doing. Oftentimes, why is not in the present. Why is always futuristic. Why must I pass these exams? To be called a chartered accountant? Or why? To make money? Or why? You see, individuals need to answer why for themselves, and I think we should all take time, having listened to this video, and answer this why. Exams come, exam go, but why we pass through what we passed through remains with us, and oftentimes is the purpose of our lives, pointing to what we are actually supposed to be doing. Like I told you, over 200 videos now created and uploaded on GJAMES Associates, because why I must pass the exams is to let others become chartered accountants, and everyone that loves accounting and finance and the world of business to come up to better understanding as much as is available and given unto me. So what can you do for me? Let other people know by sharing, subscribing to this channel, liking, and don't forget to comment. I would love to know why you want to pass the exams. From GJAMES Associate Channel, Gbenga Olatunji, we have value to life, we have value to your businesses.